Good evening, and here we are to give you our latest update on Tropical Storm Elsa. We've been monitoring, as you know that we have, and I know as many as you have. We know that many of you are watching now. Thank you for paying attention, being observant. Thank many people who have gotten on board with our request, suggesting that they perhaps allow their employees to leave early. And I notice is heading this way that some businesses were even closed. So, and the roads there was very little traffic on the road, so we appreciate that cooperation from the community. I want to remind you again, not just for Elsa, but prepare for any storm that may be coming our way, because this is the season for the storm, as you very well know. Please prepare yourselves, and please, if you will, help inform others too of what's going on here in the county, so that we all be on one accord. Watch every channel you can watch. Thank you for watching this Facebook page, but certainly watch the local news and weather channel, so we all be updated at the same time and we have the same information, so that we can make any adjustments we have to make. But we're pleased thus far just to have the rain that's here. Don't want to get comfortable because it's not over. This is just the beginning of it. And to tell you kind of where we are and what to expect, please welcome now the director of our EMA here, Mr. Robert Bob Dodd.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll talk about Tropical Storm Elsa update, 5 p.m. At 5 p.m., the center of Tropical Storm Elsa was located approximately 115 miles from Burnswick, southwest of Liberty County, and was moving north at 14 miles per hour. It is expected to continue that track until later tonight and into early morning. Currently, we are under a tropical storm warning and a tornado watch in Liberty County. Tropical Storm Elsa has sustained winds of 45 miles per hour measured near the center, with tropical storm force winds extending outward at 70 miles. Currently, the Liberty County Operations Center is at OPCON Level 2 with minimal staffing. We will continue to monitor our weather sources and are ready to react as needed. Our concern is the expected rainfall of possibly 2 to 4 inches and the impacts that may cause. This may lead to roads being impassable at times and some having to be closed. Some flash flooding may be possible. People who reside in low-lying areas should monitor this event closely and be ready to relocate to higher ground if necessary. An isolated tornado is possible and most likely will be embedded in rain bands of the system. These may happen with little or no warning. There may be some isolated areas of power outage with the storm, so you should have a hurricane kit on hand in case that does happen. At this point, we encourage you to stay abreast of the weather conditions and monitor your weather radios. Turn around and don't drown. Now turn it over to Mr. Brown.
Hey, thanks, Bob. Just a quick turnaround, and I appreciate the opportunity to come in here and do this again to try to keep you abreast of what's going on. This briefing follows the 6 o'clock short-page briefing from the National Weather Service out of Charleston, which is our monitoring station. Just wanted you to be aware, too, that EMA here does monitor the Jacksonville weather brief that's going on down there, and we're right in the middle, so we compare the two. Bob's mentioned some of the chief takeaways there. Again, from the briefing, the highest threat comes from rainfall and flooding potential, hence his caution to folks that are in low-lying areas. You know where you are. You know in a typical storm, spring type event, what floods, and we're certainly in for some heavy rain. So the center continues to track to the north. That's a little to the west of us. That'll actually, if it stays on this track, bring that center through Baxley. It came through Valdosta earlier today. In fact, Valdosta, to give you some idea, around that center point, was experiencing rainfall at the rate of about 1 inch per hour for about 6 hours, far from normal, especially in that time period that rain falls. So we're going to experience very, very, very shortly now some hard rain, some driving rain, some of the rain bands that Bob talked about. Again, if you think about it, we're on the right side of the storm, which is typically where the hardest and the most dense things happen, so to speak, and that is going to be the case in this situation. So we're monitoring what's happening, obviously, to the south of us. in that trail area that I'll call it. And we've just learned that to our south in Camden, they've had a confirmed tornado touch down and do some damage down in Camden. We don't have any reports on that damage yet, but that is the same trail that's coming this way. In fact, the same rain band that produced a tornado warning earlier in Duval County down in Florida. So over the next, I'd say 8 to 12 hours, you will see this continuous rain that's not expected to let up. Very likely that you will see some power outages that'll occur. I don't know how widespread those will be. After a significant amount of rain and a little bit of wind that comes along, we know that it doesn't take much to knock some power out. So you need to be expecting that. You need to have that flashlight on hand. As these folks have mentioned, you need to, have some sense of water there. Just be prepared. Be prepared. I do want to urge you again that if you do have a power outage, though, please don't call 911 about that. Those are going to show up on a Georgia Power, Custal EMC, or Canucci grid map. They're monitoring that consistently. They'll know the power outage occurs. They'll be able to mobilize to those locations as they're able and take care of those power outages. And again, please just ask you don't call 911 for anything except for an emergency so that those lines can stay open. Bob mentioned we're at OPCON 2 level here. I want to assure everybody that the staff, that the team that surrounds the staff, both county and city folks, are on top of everything and are ready to respond with whatever event may occur, and hopefully there are none, except for a good rain that we may get. Last thing I'll say is there's really no reason to be out on the road that we can think of unless it's an emergency situation. Unless you have some dire need to get out on the road and travel, just don't do it tonight. I think that would be the best caution I could give. Just please be aware, we're going to stay on top of things. The center's partially manned here, and we'll be monitoring events as they happen. And should the need arise tonight, during the night, to do an update, we'll post a notice to do that. Hopefully you've gone out and obtained a weather radio, or you're linked in to some of the opportunities to Alert Liberty or even WTOC that has an alert monitor on it. If you don't find that app, go to that app so you can get alerted in case we have a tornado or something spin up in one of these rain bands with short notice. Thank you. I'll yield back to the chairman now. See, do we have any questions? Thank you.
If you have any questions, we'll entertain those right quickly if you do. So they're not up. All right, good. Let's still remain vigilant. Let's stay safe. Let's shelter in place, and we'll watch as much as we can and keep you updated as much as we can. So thank you so much, Liberty County, and we hope to have another report in the morning. All right, thank you and have a good evening.